What's up, guys? My name's Jeff, and this is Mad Hatter's Reef, and today we're talking about the top 10 Blennies for your reef tank. I hope everybody is having a fantastic day, and if you're new to what we're doing here, this is where I talk about everything reef tank related. So if you love reef tanks like I do, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Let's jump into our top 10 Blennies for your reef tank. Coming in at number 10 on your top 10 Blennies for your reef tank is the 2-Spot Blenny. Now, even though this guy doesn't have a tremendous amount of color, and it even appears that he has a frowny face on his side, he has some very interesting characteristics, some very beautiful fins, and a ton of personality. They are an awesome candidate for smaller tanks, only requiring 10 gallons. Now, they're going to grow to an 1.5 inch max length, so that's why you can get away getting them into those smaller tanks. The one thing that you need to consider, though, is they need a lot of hiding spaces, a lot of live rock to graze from, and create those little nooks and crannies. So if he feels threatened, he can go into those small spaces so he can get away from whatever bothered him in the first place and kind of recoup. Great little fish. Definitely glad he made it on the top 10. Check him out, the 2-Spot Blenny. Coming in at number 9 on our top 10 Blennies for your reef tank is the black tooth. Black tooth. It's not old black tooth. It's the black, I can't say it, the black comb tooth Blenny. I got there. My apologies. I'll do better. The black comb tooth Blenny is considered easy to care for. He has a peaceful temperament. They are a herbivore, so they're going to constantly be eating your algae that's growing on your rocks, and any Blenny that I've ever had, they do an absolute tremendous job of keeping your rocks nice and clean. They are reef compatible with caution, so that's something that you're going to need to take in consideration with this fish. And the max size on this guy, he can grow up to 4 inches in length and requires a minimum 30 gallons of tank. Number 9, the black comb tooth Blenny. Coming in at number 8 on our top 10 Blennies for your reef tank, the Canary Benny is considered moderate care level. He has a semi-aggressive attitude, is considered reef compatible, can grow up to 5 inches long, and is considered venomous. So that's something that you need to be on the know with this fish, especially if you have small kids in the household. Now, this fish isn't a mass murderer. He's not going to kill every fish in your tank. What happens is that if this fish is attacked, and as it's being eaten, it has the ability to turn and bite whatever is attacking it, and that's where the venom comes into play, giving a very sharp and painful bite to whatever is attacking it. So in the event that this fish feels threatened, it could turn and give a venomous bite to whatever is attacking it. That's why I talked about the kids, or even yourself. Let's say if you're in your tank and it feels threatened, that is a possibility of something that could happen. Coming in at number 7 on our top 10 Blennies for your reef tank is the tail spot Blenny. Now, I currently have one of these guys in the 220-gallon aquarium, and he is one of my favorite fish that I've ever had. That is a very often thing that I say about Blennies. I think that's more of a personality trait than any type of coloration that comes with this fish. He is an absolute monster when it comes to destroying algae in the tank. He just has a huge belly all the time, and he's constantly looking for the next meal. They are considered easy to care for. They are peaceful, and they have a herbivore diet, considered reef safe, and can grow up to a 2.5 inch mark, requiring a 10-gallon or more aquarium. Awesome addition to any reef tank. Check them out, the tail spot Blenny. Coming in at number 6 on our top 10 Blennies for your reef tank is the Amber Blenny. This is probably one of the more expensive Blennies out there, coming with a $50-ish price tag, and they are considered moderate care level, have a peaceful temperament, and are an omnivore, which is not very common for Blennies. Is considered reef safe, can grow up to 5 inches long, and requires a 55-gallon or bigger aquarium. Now, the interesting thing about this fish and what makes it a moderate care level fish is its feeding requirements, which it needs microalgae to sustain itself. All that aside, it is a very interesting fish and has a unique coloration and pattern, which makes it a very interesting addition to any reef tank. Coming in at number 6, the Amber Blenny. Coming in at number 5 on our top 10 Blennies for your reef tank is the Sailfin Benny. Now, if you have never seen a full-grown Sailfin Benny, I strongly recommend that if you get the opportunity, you check them out because they are absolutely stunning. I remember a number of years ago, I got to see one at my local fish store, and I was very taken with this fish. And they don't look like they're very good. Once they get to that age, they don't look like they're very good at swimming. They look like they'd almost just roll around on the rocks because they're just perched all the time, and they usually have a big gut. But very interesting fish, and they can do a lot for your reef tank with consuming the algae that grows on your rocks, and they're a great addition. So definitely check them out if you get the chance. The Sailfin Benny coming in at number 5 on our top 10 list. Coming in at number 4 on our top 10 Blennies for your reef tank is the Bicolor Benny. Now, this was one of the very first Blennies that I ever owned, and I absolutely fell in love with him. He has since passed, but he was in my 55-gallon aquarium and really was the fish that introduced me to the world of Blennies. If you ever get the chance to get this fish, I strongly recommend that you do. They are relatively inexpensive, considered easy to care for, have a peaceful temperament. They will consume tons of algae in your tank and are considered reef safe. They can grow upwards of 4 inches and require only 30-gallon size aquariums or bigger. And just a little hint, if you dig deep enough into the Mad Hatter Reef video archives, you will find yourself a little video that I did on my Bicolor Benny a number of years ago. Coming in at number 3 on our top 10 Blennies for your reef tank is the Orange Spotted Benny. It is probably one of the best dressed Blennies in the room and has some amazing markings, which makes this guy super stunning. Now, as far as the care level on this guy, he is moderate care level, and that has to do with his diet. He has a very similar diet to the Amber Benny, which we talked about earlier in the video, and he needs those macros. So make sure you got a good selection of tasty algae treats, which is going to help sustain this little guy for a very long time. They have a peaceful temperament, even though that you can only have one per tank, and they are reef compatible with caution. So they are known to nip at corals and even clams, so that's something that you need to consider. If you don't have any corals, you don't have any clams, don't worry about it. As far as size, they grow up to 5 inches and require a tank of 30 gallons or bigger. Coming in at number 2 in our top 10 Blennies for your reef tank is the Starry Benny. Again, I've probably said this way too many times in this video, one of my personal favorites. And the older that they get, the bigger that they get, the crazier and more awesome they look. Just like most Blennies are going to do a number on consuming algae in your tank, they're going to keep that rockwork clean. So they are a fish with a purpose. The Starry Benny is considered easy to care for. He has a peaceful temperament. He needs those herbivores, or he has a herbivore diet. Is considered reef compatible. Can grow upwards of 5.5 inches and requires that 30-gallon or bigger aquarium. A great addition to any reef tank. If you can get one, pick one up because they're going to do a lot for you and look awesome while they're doing it. The Starry Benny. Coming in at number 1 on our top 10 Blennies for your reef tank and packing a punch with probably the highest price tag, the Midas Benny. Not only is he going to do your breaks, he's going to look great in your reef tank. The Midas Benny is considered easy to care for. He has a peaceful temperament, has a omnivore diet, so he's going to eat those meats and those greens, and is considered reef compatible. Now, these guys can grow upwards of 6 inches and require a minimum tank size of 30 gallons. One of the interesting things about this fish is it has a unique style of swimming, very similar to an eel. And it's hard to explain, but once you see this fish and have it in a tank, you're going to realize that it doesn't swim like other fish. Very cool fish. Definitely something to look for if you're looking for that interesting Blenny or showpiece for any reef tank, check them out, the Midas Blenny. All right, guys, that's a wrap on the top 10 Blennies for your reef tank. And if you've made it this far into the video, you are awesome. Now, if you want to get yourself a little Mr. Frag sticker, jump over to the Instagrams, find Mad Hatter's Reef, hit the follow button, send me a direct message saying hi, and shoot me your address, and I'll get one of these guys mailed out to you for absolutely free. All right, guys, thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for all the support with Mad Hatter's Reef, Mystery Reef Box, and I'll see you guys next weekend at the Keep On Reefing Expo in Connecticut. Peace!